Welcome, everyone, to the Minions of the Zoo Tuesday edition. I'm your keeper, Skep Tock, and with me I have Minions Sora Luna,
Good evening.
Prospero,
Hello, and hello to Harry in the waiting room.
and Mr. Adam, and Harry has arrived.
Hello.
The chorus. It's so nice to have all of
Hello.
you with us here on our first Elizabeth I free
Elizabeth the
Tuesday.
Second. Elizabeth the Second.
Well, no, yeah, that's right. Elizabeth II free. It's a lot of words to get straight. And
Yes.
I'm tired. Give me a break. The first Elizabeth the second free broadcast, and looking forward to. I just think it would be so great to have Meghan Markle be an evil queen. No one would be more evil. It would be a hold my beer moment for Cersei Lannister.
I don't know. Jill Biden might do a good job of it.
Joe Biden already is an evil queen. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's good. She's Dr. Lady Macbeth.
Oh, she is. That was just perfectly coined. That's exactly what she is.
I'm a little too pleased with myself over that because I was being kind of smart ass, but man,
It's on the nose.
she's played into it perfectly.
Yeah. She's ominous the way she jerks him around, and you know he's starting to lose it. They did a quick montage of his gaffes just for the week.
Jesus.
And it's just appalling. He really doesn't know what he's saying half the time, and he's in a terrible position. He shouldn't have to be doing this. As much contempt as I have for him, I also feel bad for him because he's being taken advantage of by some truly despicable people.
Yes. Susan Rice, Ron Klain, Jill Biden.
Yeah.
Hunter Biden. He's just surrounded by awful human beings.
Yeah.
That demented gnome Reich.
At least Hunter makes him money. I mean, come on. I mean, he has some usefulness.
Yes.
Keeps him in ice cream.
Yeah.
So,
and 2-scoop money.
Well, honest, nothing can top the thing that wasn't the gaffe. That, of course, Sam Harris had to scream about being photoshopped. Was that speech from September 3rd.
What happened to Sam Harris?
He lost his goddamn mind.
I know.
Trump derangement syndrome took him over the edge. He was look.
You know what? He would have caught it if he would have just worn a mask.
Neuroscience, yes, that's true. That is true. Maybe 2 masks. Neuroscience, great. Stick to it, Sam. What you understand about the greater world? Nah. Stop. Just stop.
He just wants to get laid. That's why he was going woke, because it increases his odds of hooking up. I don't know if he has like somebody who's willing to touch his penis or not. I don't know what his actual situation is, but he started getting woke before Trump even showed up.
Yes.
He just wants to get laid.
He wants to be on the cool kids bus.
Get laid.
The nerdy little science boy, wants to get laid.
The Joey Bishop of the 4 Horsemen.
Yeah, if that. I think that's a little mean to Joey Bishop. Maybe he's the Peter Lawford of the...
Do you know that his mother created the Golden Girls and also created soap? She was a television producer.
Sam's mom is Susan Harris?
Yeah, Susan Harris is his mom.
Oh
I didn't know that either. I did not know that either. That's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and his father was a guy named Berkeley Harris. He was a Western actor, and I had been reading about him. just got back. Yeah, his original major was English, and he became interested in philosophical questions while he was at Stanford. And after he said he had an experience with the MDMA, ecstasy, for those not into the chemical names, the experience led him to be interested in the idea that he might be able to achieve spiritual insights without the use of drugs. Not possible, right, Adam? Leaving Stanford in his second year, a quarter after his psychoactive experience, he visited India and Nepal, where he studied meditation with teachers of Buddhist and Hindu religions, including unpronounceable guy. 11 years later, in 1997, he returned to Stanford for creating a BA degree in philosophy. I find that kind of interesting. And he began writing his first book, The End of Faith, immediately after the September 11th attacks a year later. Let's see. He received a PhD in cognitive neuroscience. Okay. That's the study of biological processes and aspects that underlie cognition. Specifically focuses on the neural connections in the brain and so forth and so on, and the physiology thereof. Anyway, he got that PhD in 2009 from University of California. Using functional magnetic resonance MRI to conduct research into the neural basis for belief, disbelief, and uncertainty. It's interesting to look into that because you realize that this guy has spent his entire life in academia. Yeah, exactly. In reflective academia, the reflective part of academia.
I'd love to know what he studied in philosophy, because he certainly didn't study any logic.
Whoa.
He didn't. I mean, he's like the king of cogdis. Now, as we all know, we all have a certain touch of cogdis in our lives, but Sam can be railing about how important it was to fortify an election, and then bitch about unfettered misinformation in the same breath. What is tickling Sora so badly?
I'm being
no one wants
a bully in chat.
Oh.
No one wants to date Sam Harris.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just timing out a hateful username. That's all.
Oh, you found them, did you? Yes, that is a terrible person.
So at any rate, it's been a banging week with the death of the Queen, and
damn, that's a rude way to put it.
Yeah, what a banger of a week! Death of the Queen.
It just chased
Sam
all the
Harris
news
not
off
getting laid.
Well, yeah, Sam. I have a feeling that's not news.
And a 40% discount on all furniture coming up next. Oh shit!
A certain amount of muscular hypertrophy in the right arm, but yeah, the I just wonder what where is a guy like Sam Harris going to go? What is he going to do? I mean, he's basically carved out a niche for himself as a self-satisfied navel gazer, I guess, to use your term. What's his future?
Probably just keep doing what he's doing, just shilling his books and appearing on talk shows and podcasts and spewing his viewpoints and
covering himself in shit and then backing down on it on Twitter.
Well, I mean, that's could be on his off time or hobby, but I mean,
yeah.
For in terms of income, I think he'll just continue to do what he's doing he, like you said, he's found a niche, and he's found a nice stream to plant his little was it wheelbarrow. That's not the right word. I don't know, but
Standard.
He's actually what I think of when I think of the term pseudo intellectual.
Yeah.
Sam Harris is who comes to mind, and he associates with real intellectuals. Love him or hate him, Christopher Hitchens would have to be considered an intellectual representative of the press, and
certainly Dawkins.
Dawkins is obviously an intellectual, and the other guy, I can never remember Bashful when I'm naming the Seven Dwarves.
Yeah, no.
Who was the guy? Who was the other guy? Dennett or something like that.
Dennett.
Dennett.
Yeah.
Daniel Dennett. Beard
yes. Beard man.
Darwin impersonator.
Man. Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so, Birdman. The rapper.
Beard man.
Well,
Beard man.
Yeah.
I did not watch Sam Harris debate Jordan Peterson because I don't like how debate is done now. And I just really didn't want to see.
Well, it isn't debate, for one thing.
No, it's just,
I'm sure you're going to point out,
arguing.
Yes.
And one person attempting, which I imagine Dr. Peterson did, to remain within the bounds, and somebody like Sam, who just loves to flap his lips and doesn't really listen to what other people say. Peterson isn't some fly-by-night tin horn preacher thumping Bibles and selling hot tubs. That's not how he presents his viewpoints on religion. He tends to be looking at the heroic archetypes and that kind of, and that's probably was beyond Sam's reach, if you get my drift. Well, I've read Jung and I dismiss blah, blah. Well, good for you, Sam. You can just dismiss whatever you want to. I bet he walked around campus with making sure everybody could see he was reading Kant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cover out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Cover out book carrier.
Yep. And it's just the cover of the Critique of Pure Reason, and it's over the Greening of America or something.
Yes,
some Alvin Toffler tome.
Yeah, it's just why I but there are cover out carriers. That's the kind of hello, look and see what I'm reading. As all I remember about reading Kant was wanting to bash my brains out.
Well, yeah, reading Kant is a walking argument for the Cliff Notes.
Yes, God Almighty.
Critique of Pure Reason is a mess to slug through. I made it about a third of the way through, and then I picked up the Cliff Notes. That's how I handled that in college.
Yeah, this is what came last in my Enlightenment reading seminar. Was the Kant. So the semester is drawing to a close. The weather is pleasant, and I'm sitting on the floor banging the back of my head against a wall trying to read Kant.
Yeah.
It was just not... I've read some dense stuff before.
Yeah, his
and had a better time.
Yeah.
I read Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. Okay.
You have my deepest sympathy.
Well,
magical
realism takes some work. Yes.
It does. Fair enough. We talk about these things that are so bad. Something that I reviewed again or looked at recently, and I would recommend to everybody, if you want to see a legend in debate. I think it's one of the best recorded debates of all time. And that, of course, is the one between James Baldwin and William F. Buckley.
Mm.
And it's old, but 55 years later, it's still amazing to see the young Buckley and the young Baldwin in full steam at Oxford style.
Yeah.
That was an amazing, and that is just still some of the most amazing video I've ever watched.
One of the nice things about Oxford is they still stick to standard classical debate style.
Well, yeah, that's why I say Oxford debate. Yeah,
yeah, it's not some gish galloping nonsense.
You mean like our presidential debates?
Oh God, yeah, or anytime the great philosopher, oh Jesus, what's his name? Michael Eric Dyson opens his yap.
Oh God.
The only person who can gish gallop faster than Dyson is Ben Shapiro. And Ben, it is a flaw in Ben.
It is a flaw
that he does that.
Well,
I'm sorry
Ben
someone like Hitchens isn't around
to call him on his shit.
To actually sit down with him and go, Ben, I know you're smart, and doggone it, you're good enough. You can stop trying to run over top of people with a bajillion facts.
Well, some of his facts, Ben is not above sliding opinion in there if he believes it hard enough.
Yeah.
And if it comes out of the Bible or it comes from one of the ancient Jewish philosophers, if it comes from Maimonides or somebody, or
he accepts it as stated fact. Yes,
and he will restate it as fact, and that's where I have a problem with. That's my biggest problem with Ben Shapiro is him stating things that he may believe are religious truths, and he states them as factual absolutes, and I don't think that's fair.
No, it isn't, and he can speak so quickly that
he thinks he speaks at about a tenth of the speed of he thinks. He's a really smart guy. That's a guy who's a legitimate. He's almost as smart as Harry in some ways.
Well,
Thanks.
I mean, he is.
Well, he is smart, Harry. He's within 20 or 30 points of your IQ.
He's definitely quick. And if you were going to give him the Stanford Binet test, there are sections of it he would have no trouble maxing out. That I can assure you of. I'm imagining a little second grade Ben Shapiro taking Stanford Binet, getting to the verbal part.
Yeah.
And the examiner just looking like he got hit by a bus.
Yes.
Yeah. Holy shit. The interesting thing about Ben Shapiro is he is a mathophobe, and a pretty serious one.
Yeah,
well, the Unabomber and I can take him then.
Yes. No, he doesn't even pretend. He doesn't even pretend to understand what calculus is or how it works.
His musical ability is pretty decent.
Yes.
It's outstanding.
Oh, he's not without. There are people out there who have latent mathematical skills that just for whatever reason they hit a block at some point in their life, and Ben may have done that, and pride may have gotten in his way.
Also, I think he just does not like math.
Yeah, it's fine. Like what you want to like. He's grown up now. He can do that. And by the way, do you know his wife's a doctor?
Yeah.
That's so cute. That is absolutely. It used to be my son, the doctor. Now it's my wife, the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
But Hitchens, it would be nice to see Hitchens call someone like Ben on their shit just to make them better. Because, he would scoff at him stating religious belief as truth. Hitchens would. But Hitchens got a little more tolerant the older he got.
Mm-hmm.
He got a little more.
He got a lot more talent. Are you kidding?
Yeah, he got a lot. He got much more patient with people having beliefs that he found ludicrous, and he found ways of saying, "I think what you believe is ludicrous," without saying, "I think you're a dope." Where the younger Hitchens was like, "You're just a fucking moron." He was full of all that youthful certainty and lack of politesse, because I'm speaking truth to power. Ha 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 lol. He also got so jaded. Poor Chris. The Clintons broke an essential part of Chris Hitchens, I think. He just marveled that the body politic could excuse what it was excusing. Of all things, he turned moralist over them.
He never really understood how some Americans are just completely swayed by whatever party they identify with. And they simply will vote that straight party line. He never understood that.
Yeah, the whole concept of Team Jersey confused him, although he was a pretty dedicated
he's a pretty dedicated
labor guy
for a long time.
Yeah, and then he grew up.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah, he kept seeing all the socialist countries go down the drain. And, eventually he, to his ever-loving credit, he realized there was a pernicious flaw that keeps reemerging every single time it's tried.
Imagine that.
And he was great at and articulate at explaining why that happened later in his career. But he started out a raving socialist, a la Eric Blair.
Thomas Sowell,
yeah.
Another socialist starting out.
Marxist. So, Sowell was, and I think my dad probably thought Marx had a point until he grew up a little more. The world was a very hard and shitty place for poor people in 1941 to 3, that time period. So it was not unusual for the poorer in this country to find some appeal in the language of the worker parties.
Yeah.
It's insidious language, because it's no such thing.
Insidious language. That's kind of a bit of a segue for the next thing that I actually wanted to talk about, which has to do. I entered a Google question. I just wanted to see how Google would answer this, and I said,
you'd fight insidious language.
What's that?
In a Sith temple.
You do. Insidious language.
But anyway, so I type in this question. It says, can the grid handle electric cars? And the answer, yes.
Where?
Yes, absolutely. No problem.
Yeah. The government will send you a piece of mail saying you're allowed to charge your car for 1 hour at the following 3 times each month.
Shit.
Yeah. Comrade, accept your place at the charging port.
Yeah.
Open the receptacle and
At
wait
least
for the
there's
nozzle.
a charging port.
The power nozzle.
And you will eat the bugs.
You don't have to go anywhere in the winter anyway, so.
That's right. That's right.
You didn't want to go get groceries, right?
No.
I wanted
for
to
the
follow up
drones.
my question. This was kind of a hairy question. Harry.
Yes, sir.
To me, taking a calorie of energy, the calorie of energy that is burned by petroleum in your car's engine, I would maintain you get more miles out of your car than a calorie of energy that's burned in a power plant that goes to charge your car. Am I right or wrong? Or is that fair?
It depends.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, okay. This is really more a question for your dad. But what's the peak efficiency of a small internal combustion engine?
I actually think you might be able to scull this out qualitatively.
Well, because I've seen these numbers run. Okay, and if we
Right.
just look at, so for instance, if you look at something like, this is analogous, it's not exactly the same thing, but like a gas furnace in a home,
Right.
and you compare that to an electric heat pump,
Mhm.
even factoring in the inefficiencies of making electricity, distributing it, and then getting it to people's homes versus just pumping gas
Mhm.
through big pipes, which is very energy efficient. Because the heat pump itself is so much more efficient than creating calories by burning natural gas.
Right.
It's somewhere between 2.5 to a little over 3 times as efficient total. It's an absolute no-brainer for anything except the coldest places on Earth to run a heat pump instead of a gas furnace. Now, a gasoline car, in terms of efficiency of power delivery, I mean, it depends on a lot of factors. You know, because the electric things can be really efficient with regeneration and all this other sort of stuff. And the power plants are much more efficient than the small gasoline engines.
Mm.
So the big commercial power plants, even if it's burning hydrocarbons like natural gas, still much more efficient than a small gasoline engine. But there's also the losses as you basically convert the voltage to different voltages and then down convert it.
That's
then,
what I'm talking about.
You know, you
right
have
there.
to, you know, the car itself is DC, so you're going from AC to DC.
Exactly. Reading my mind.
Yeah, I think there's still kind of an advantage to the electric car, usually.
Mm.
But I need to go back and look at the numbers. I don't want to be talking out of my ass. Like, I know for heating houses, there's definitely an advantage to a heat pump, but I can't say for sure that the losses involved with an electric car don't outweigh the almost 2x efficiency increase from burning the fossil fuels in a
You're going to be
bigger
happy
plant.
to know that I asked the question of the Google machine.
What did the Google machine say?
It said the electric cars are more efficient and they will solve all of your problems.
Oh, good to know.
Go back to your workstation.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Don't bother to think about it too hard.
It didn't feel like a fascist answer at all.
It didn't feel like that was the correct answer as defined by the Department of Correct Answers.
Yeah, exactly. The Department of Correct Answers.
That's where the correct answers come from.
Yes, exactly.
Paid for by Google.
Some people try to privatize their correct answers, but we need to stop that because that's how democracy gets killed.
Mm.
That's why January 6th took place, because some people had incorrect information.
What? And that actually was something I wanted to talk about last week. We never got to it.
Did you mention that it's worse than 9/11?
Well, that not only worse than 9/11, I'm with Joanne Reed on this. It was as bad in its way as the Civil War.
Yeah.
So as bad as 1.5 million Americans in the grave. It was that bad. It was that bad.
I mean, it was only 4 hours, so
but
4 hours, 4 years.
Over 500,000 people died. Over 500,000 people died in those 4 hours that those insurrectionists, the rebels, took over Washington.
No, it was just democracy that died, Skep, and that's what matters.
I just, part of me is, I'm looking forward to death so much. I can't fucking wait to leave all this behind. These assholes have taken my country and ruined it. Sorry, just kind of got off into a negative rant there. Everything will be fine. Everything's going to be just fine.
Well, you could say that they may be ruining it, but it isn't done yet.
I mean, they're not even finished ruining it.
Well, who's to say that we're going to let them?
Yeah. I think those horses have left the barn, my friend. But that notwithstanding, we've been joined by JediGhostBear, a.k.a. David. Welcome, David.
Hello.
Oh,
David.
farewell, David.
David vanished. David tried to say something and new disconnection. He'll be back in a minute.
No. Come
I was
back.
going to say,
You scared
David
him.
I'm
sounded
sorry.
a lot like Sora.
You're too direct. That was the problem, Skep.
You
You spooked him.
Oh, he's back.
David, you're here. Say
The
hello
page
quickly.
refreshed.
He girded his loins and came back into the discussion.
Yeah, you can't refresh the page that that this is loaded on. You'll eat yourself.
I didn't do it. I didn't mean to. It just happened. I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah, accidentally hit the F5 key. It'll do it.
Yeah.
But
Delete
it-
system 32. It'll go faster.
Oh, stop it.
Do not do that. Anyone
Do not listen to that man.
my friend was being silly,
Oh.
being a silly
Wow.
lad.
How's everybody doing?
I'm on the proper side of the dirt. That is a good thing.
What was it, Harry? RM*/S.
Stop it. Stop it, both of you.
Thinking out loud here.
Skep didn't bounce off any paint for the day, I hope.
No,
Okay. Good.
You could do just as much damage by removing everything under /DEV.
Stop it.
you really could.
Stop it.
Bin goes away. That's a bad thing.
I'll tell you some
User.
stories later.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I have a few
stories.
myself. Have a few myself. Well, you said to delete all that. I didn't say delete the operating system, you little asshole.
The reason
I-
I make
But
you
you
use sudo
didn't
instead of
say-
root, instead of giving you the root password, is so I can keep track of the shit you do and track you down and hold you responsible.
Yeah.
That's what I do to new users.
Have
Sorry,
you ever
Sora.
had this? Have you ever had this conversation, Harry? I'm going to go to your supervisor and make you give me root. I had that happen. I really did. Had
You
that
know,
happen.
Why'd
I
you
would have
say
kept-
that?
I would have kept a spare copy of Alex Haley's book and said, "Here you go, bucko."
Okay, I'm going to amuse you and annoy everybody else for like 30 seconds. I was once dealing with a problem where they needed to move some data halfway around the world.
Okay.
And because of how you move data halfway around the world, large bandwidth, large delay means you don't get a lot of speed. So I was trying to explain to them why they weren't getting a lot of speed, and they decided, these two bright young people in Bangalore decided they were going to try using a Windows FTP client as a means of making it work. And miraculously, it sort of worked, and they said, well, we should use this to transfer all the data. I said, we're not going to do that. And so they immediately went to their boss, who sent this letter to everybody saying, I don't understand why Harry won't let us use this valuable tool.
This file transfer protocol.
Yeah. I had to like really put the smack down on those guys, their boss, and just like everybody. Just like, if you're gonna say things that stupid when I'm trying to help, because I know what I'm talking about, I'm going to punish you. And so I punished all of them.
Good man.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
You eradicated their planets.
Yeah, I eradicated their stupid plan of setting up Windows FTP servers on two sides of the globe to try to transfer builds back and forth.
But
I
they
got
thought-
rid of that plan.
They thought they had
builds?
discovered water. They were so excited.
Like a large application of build kind of a thing.
Yeah, well, basically they wanted the builds for this product to be available in Bangalore soon after they did them in, the United States. And they didn't like the fact it was taking forever for it to get from the United States to Bangalore. So those clever young people decided they had a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No. We're gonna instead of fixing the problem, we're gonna copy it to a PC and then have a bunch of Windows cron job equivalent things, then copy it to another PC, and then that PC will copy it to a file server.
And how well did those Windows cron jobs work, execute?
Well, they're faster after you remove System 32.
Yeah, much faster, much more effective. Anyway, all right. All the double entendres that are flying in this conversation here.
Yeah. So what was the question, Skep? I completely forgot.
I don't know. I'm too old and broken to remember at this point.
Well, I may have spurged out, and I ended up writing a 20-page paper explaining why they suck and what they should do instead.
Have you still got that? Because I would.
Oh yeah. And since I get paid by the hour, I didn't care. It's like, fine. You're literally forcing me to spend time writing a paper that I would write anyway.
Yeah.
So that I can make you not be stupid.
And you're paying me to write the paper telling you you're stupid.
Yes.
That's the best
delicious.
part about it.
Yeah.
It's just like, would you like your crow sautéed, or would you like it?
Yeah, so those kids, their boss was the one who really doubled down the valuable tool thing. Yeah. So it was him, it was the boss that I had to smite. It's not the kids' fault. They don't know any better.
By pointing out that he was an invaluable tool.
They were just trying to solve the problem. I don't blame them. Everybody's allowed to be young.
Well, sure. But
I've said stupid things before in the computer context. I remember a long time ago I would do things like write a program in C because it was a lot faster when I was dealing with large amounts of data, because you couldn't pay me money to write something using like Shell and Perl because it was just too slow. So I'd write something in C that was like 3 orders of magnitude faster, but of course it would take me 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be that pedantic. Sorry, so what do you want to talk about? Not this, probably.
It's just been such a week for me. The assassin says, Skeptock, I only know System 32 is an operating system of a computer from a sarcastic joke about deleting it to make the computer run better. Okay. Just in case anybody's concerned about this, do not remove your System 32 folder from your Windows or PC. Don't do that. That's a very bad idea. Don't remove bin. Don't remove the Windows directory. Don't edit autoexec.bat. Don't edit or remove anything in the root directory. Don't edit or remove anything in any Windows directory or any Windows subdirectory. Do not edit the registry. This is part of my do not do this speech that I used to deliver to my customers. And just don't make stupid work for me. Don't try not to do stupid things. Just try.
Did you let them install software themselves?
It depended. If I had somebody who was a legit power user who I had seen their work, I might let them install something easy like SQL Server. But if it was something that required specific answers into or something that needed to be compiled into source safe, I did all that.
Yeah, it's annoying. There are different cultural things that go on. Some of the younger people from India, they'll ask me to fix something or help them. I'll go looking at their directories and I'll find a folder full of hundreds of pirated books. I'm like, do you have to put that on your work computer? I'd almost rather you just had porn there. I mean,
yeah, no,
seriously.
Yeah, you've got the entire Spotify catalog.
Yeah.
What? Hey, wait a minute.
Hey, I need this Joe Rogan episode. Grab that. How dare you? I kill you.
Oh man.
On their work computer. That's just great.
That's people have misconceptions though about what it took to get data halfway around the world. When back in 1999, when I told the government of Singapore that I could maintain their server farm from Denver, Colorado, and they wouldn't have to drive me over there every 2 weeks. They were absolutely floored by that. And there is videotape around of me maintaining those servers that still exists at Lucent Technologies. It has, and it shows me moving the cursor to where I think the cursor roughly should be, and then taking my hands off and waiting probably 20 seconds for the screen to respond. And the screen responds, and I look at where the cursor is, and then I get it closer to the object that I want to click on. You feel me?
Oh, I feel
This
it.
sounds like something we watched Terry do.
Yeah, you may not have seen. I have a movie of me doing that same thing through remote desktop. I'll show it to you after the show on Saturday.
I would love to see that. Anyway, make a long story short, there was actually a time when people would copy data onto devices like I'll bet Harry has heard of a Bernoulli box. You know what a Bernoulli box is, don't you?
I've never used one.
Bernoulli cartridge.
I've never used one, but I've heard of them.
But you know what they are. They're basically a tape cartridge sealed up for very high speed. What was then high speed data transfer, and you could write a lot of data on a Bernoulli box. You could get like 4 meg on one Bernoulli box, which was a hell of a lot of data back in the day. And they would fill up these Bernoulli boxes, and then they would ship them. They would FedEx them to whatever server farm needed them, and they would simply copy the data. It was so much faster to get it off a peripheral than it was to get it over any other way. Basically, we're looking at modem communications back then.
Approximately what year was this?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to say that was 1987. I was 87. I was doing Bernoulli boxes, 87 or 88.
So they didn't really have the internet.
No, the internet wasn't. Modems were the 9600s were just coming out.
Good God.
Yeah, 9600.
And you were happy to have them. You were happy.
Oh my God!
Because a Telebit Trailblazer 9600 was like a huge upgrade from a 12 or 2400. Yeah,
exactly. Hey, Smart Modem 2400. Yeah, goddamn. Anyway, reminiscing about old computer systems in front of friends. That's what I guess.
Let's talk about Kermit versus Z modem. Come on, let's go for it.
The Kermit protocol.
Okay, enough of this. Let's talk about politics.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. So, here is a fearless prediction that the Republicans don't take the Senate, and they will take the House, but not by near as much as they think. Thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, they are busy snatching defeat.
They're so good at this.
They really are.
They're incomparable, really.
The RNC is an utter disorganized mess.
Mm.
I mean, there's no, and the The turtle needs to go away in the Senate. He just terribly, very much. We've got some senior deadweight in the Republicans in the Senate. Democrats do too. They all just need to go take a hike.
Yep.
They're just a millstone around the neck of any potential change that can happen within the Republican Party, and they need to seriously reevaluate their strategies, which appear to be mired in 1992.
Mm.
They still seem wedded to the so-called religious right, that I do not think is the size they think it is.
They keep saying that the country is against abortion. But then you look at the polls, and the country appears to be about 60% pro-choice, at least to some extent.
Yeah, I guess it, depends on your polling, and it depends on who they're using. I mean, when they're polling Fox News viewers, just to pick a demographic that trends older, they're going to get a different set of data than they are if they do.
But it's been pretty consistent that
I just meant
the thing I was reacting to was your remark saying that they need to unwed themselves from the religious right, because I actually think you're absolutely right.
Well, I don't think it's just the abortion issue.
No. That's an example of it, though.
I think it's just consistently, anytime there is any First Amendment case that even, remotely has to do with religion, they fly into the bows. But Christianity's under attack.
Yes.
And yes, there is a fair bit of anti-Christian rhetoric out there. I do not doubt that. And I do not doubt for a minute that if the inconvenient faith that it is could be removed from the body politic, there would be some happy people out there. But it's allowing them to tee up these nonsensical articles like The Atlantic has published and stuff about white Christian nationalism.
Yes. White Christian nationalism. Because we sit and think about that stuff all the time, don't we?
Yeah, it's being fomented throughout America, and it's just like we have a problem with the Catholics and the weaponizing the rosary. But what? I mean, I'm just picturing nuns using rosaries as garrotes. I mean, what are you talking about? It's because there were some memes of rosary beads with AR-15s. Okay, that's not weaponizing the rosary. That's just
being
a picture.
edgy.
Yeah, edgy, isn't it? And whatever. They can't, but I don't know. It's just the Republicans can't message anything. They're haphazard. They're slapdash. They ignore people who are perchance younger and can make some suggestions for making it less of a stodgy old man's pinochle game. Charles Grassley and Mitch McConnell look like the guys wandering around in the old age home with their pants pulled up to their armpits, as does Jerry Nadler. But it's still. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just
versatile, dependable, compatible, maybe even sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Call it what you want. We call it the Penril modem.
For God's sake.
Penril's modem are all
That's how you sell computers, right there.
family ranging from teletype Bell 101C modems and single card LSI 1200 bits per second, Bell 202C modems up to our adaptively equalized 4800 bits per second model. 4800 bits. Are you kidding me? Per second?
Mhm.
Every second, 4800 bits?
Mhm.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Woo-hoo.
It's not bad in a text-based world, actually.
No.
4800.
I know, but all I can hear is Nancy Sinatra now. Ding, 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 ding.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
What the hell are we talking about?
We're
These
talking about the
boots are made
song
for
called
walking.
Boots.
Yeah.
And she had, and when she sang it, she made a video with her father. Was it her father or her brother?
No.
It was her brother. It was some inappropriate family member.
She
and
did
had
the
white
thing with
boots
her
on.
father with Something Stupid. She did the duet.
That's right. She did
Of Something Stupid.
Duet with him, but she did these boots are made for walking. She was always wearing those
Go-Go's?
those boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the go-go boots. That's what they were called. Yeah.
Well, I remember that song. My gosh, I think it was my grandmother had a blue Buick Skylark convertible with white leather seats and an 8-track player. And
Hot
that's
damn.
where I first heard these boots are made for walking.
That
That's a
bass
damn
slide,
good-looking car.
that bass slide that starts the thing off is hard to play. By the way, if you play it right, if you just
that
yeah.
that
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding. And I can still feel those.
do,
'Cause
do,
you-
do, 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 do. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it's one of those iconic almost novelty songs, really. If you think about it, it was a little bit like the itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini of its time.
So I just have to point out Sasson is making these hilarious comments in chat. It says the left is desperate to paint white men who are religious with the terrorist brush that is meant for bad Haji.
Yeah.
You talk like my son.
You know,
my
go
son
ahead.
came back from Iraq talking about Hajis and so forth. What were you going to say, David?
yeah, so did my brother. But I was gonna say, he kind of brings up a good point. Barna, who they do survey stuff they focus on religious stuff, and the frequency of which, like, quote unquote, evangelicals go to church is really low by and large,
Mhm.
and they're not really theologically orthodox. So they're kind of, it's evangelical. You know, the evangelical vote is really just a broad brush for like Republican Protestant. And
yeah, and they're big cherry pickers,
right.
when it comes to their theology. There is
Right.
yeah.
Right, but a lot of them aren't even really all that committed or even really know. So it's not really it's a descriptor of a political group that's not really a theological group.
I know, but it makes the Episcopalians feel so much better about themselves to consider them one.
Good point.
Or at least it seems to, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because the Episcopalians have been blowing in the wind theologically for ages, but they prim up really quickly when faced with evangelicals. And
I had a Heathkit. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, all the mainline have. I mean, all the old seven sister, Protestant denominations. You can't really tell any of them apart anymore.
it is kind of difficult to. You are correct. And oh my God, what is this?
Uh-oh.
What is this?
They're here.
They're here.
It's just a Heathkit, build your own computer. Get out your soldering iron.
Yeah.
Fun
Wait,
for the
you
whole
used to have
family.
I used to have to solder cables. I bet you soldered some cables. You got in the business in time to solder cables, didn't you, Harry?
Usually don't solder, more crimping.
No, you were before crimping of serial cables, you had to use a solder gun to connect 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, and 5, or 1, 2, 4, and 6. That for
I've done the thing with the
4-pin handshake.
resistor, with like a resistor between 2 pins and solder. I've done that, but
Yeah.
most of it's crimping. I'm not actually good at cables. I'm slow.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. And when your eyes go, you're really slow. Especially when you mess up a few of them. You get them wired across.
I think Adam might be better at that kind of stuff than I am.
Yeah. Very likely.
I can do it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, everything involving cables. It's like, hey, why don't you go raise that floor in that computer room? I've got about 300 miles of block mux connector that I need you to drag underneath these other computers. You just go have a good day. I have people for that shit. That is not me. I don't do cabling. Kind of like I don't fix transmissions and I don't work on exhaust systems. There's things I've just decided I'm never going to do.
Getting good at fiber connectors was, I actually got decent enough where I could have done that for a living. I mean, connecting fiber, there's an art to that.
There is, and it's actually a lot more civilized than the stuff I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we know that neurology and gastroenterology are out for you, Harry.
Damn straight.
Okay.
Oh, gastroenterology.
Well, that's the exhaust. The exhaust. Right, the exhaust system. He said, "I don't do."
I had a gastroenterologist, and he ended up going into practice with his daughter.
Oh no!
And they
that's
opened up.
horrible.
They opened up their own little off-site place where they would scope people.
Nice.
So he'd scope you from both ends just to save time, and then bill your insurance.
At an offsite, you say, and they don't bill your insurance.
I was referring to it as Akbar and Jeff's scope and go.
There's a couple of red flags here.
I was like picturing the scopes as they approach one another. They're waving little white flags. And
They just drive a little gold spike
right in there, and
shake hands and then go get drunk. Yeah.
That actually would be a huge problem, because the one that came up from below would have passed through a bacterial flora, or actually microfauna
that doesn't belong in the one above.
That doesn't belong in the upper stories. It's an upstairs downstairs kind of arrangement, where the help just is not supposed to come upstairs. And when the help comes upstairs, bad things happen. There's always a fight.
Well, there's that thing that happened. There's that thing that happens with anesthesia where all of that stuff stops, and I guess not rarely enough, when the peristaltic motion starts up again in the intestines, it'll go in the wrong direction sometimes.
You'll have,
and then they have to
peristalsis.
They basically have to knock people out and go, well, let's try rebooting that.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. They reboot it. That's exactly what they do. Yeah. It's other weird things that happen with the bacteria in your body. Sometimes somebody will come in from a car wreck. This happens in hospitals. Coming with a car wreck, they have severe abdominal trauma. Well, as soon as the surgeons sew those people up, there's been a lot of dirty metal inside these people, so they give them these big gun intravenous antibiotics. One of them that they give is called chloramphenicol, and when they what this can cause is a condition called pseudomembranous enterocolitis, which is basically a huge inflammation, frequently fatal, of the lower GI. And the you have to one of the other complications, though, that happens is that the chloramphenicol works so well, it kills all the gut bacteria.
Kills everything, yeah.
And then you will know what sick means. You will know what gut misery means if that ever happens to you. And you know what the treatment is. You're not going to believe the treatment. The treatment is to take about 10 cc's of somebody else's poo
Yeah. It's fecal,
and inject it in you.
fecal transplant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it works remarkably well.
It works amazingly well. It was a huge step forward.
Yeah, you just need to reintroduce en masse all the variety,
All the Enterobacter, all the Bacteroides,
yeah,
all of the anaerobe, the gram-negative anaerobes in the
yeah,
lower bowel.
it's like the whole Linnaeus catalog, Bush right into you.
Linnaean catalog.
Hey, Skep Tock.
Carolus Linnaeus.
I wanna thank you again for inviting me on to the show this evening. This is really riveting topics.
We just get together.
I thought you were I thought you were soldered to your chair.
Wait, soldered.
Hey, as long as I have you, Adam, I wanted to ask you: is marijuana decriminalized in Illinois?
Well, actually, everything's decriminalized in Illinois come next year.
What do you mean?
Fucking goddamn no cash bail for second-degree murder.
Well, but I mean, technically, is it legal or is it decriminalized?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Illinois.
In Illinois, yeah, no, I think it's decriminalized only because they have the shops up and running.
As of January 1st, 2020, recreational consumption, possession, and sales of cannabis products are legal in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
So you guys can just buy stuff there.
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Isn't that awesome?
They got you can buy. They got shops that you can buy a whole bunch of whatever.
I'm still not fucking going back, but still.
Can't you just walk in and steal whatever you want? I mean, why pay for
Yeah.
it? Just
I'm sure.
just go in and say, yeah, I'll
Not that there's
take
no
some of
cash
that.
back.
Yeah, it's just like Walgreens.
I don't know if it's the same as California, where you just got to make sure you don't hit that $1,000 mark. But for the most
It's more
part,
of a guideline. Yeah.
Yeah.
More of a
That is so
guideline,
freaking depressing. Oh my god.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But the idea of no cash bail for second-degree murder.
And I think there was another one where it was like intoxicated
You guys are
assault or something like
Yeah,
that.
aggravated assault. Yeah, who cares?
welcome.
And then trespassing, like they're not
Say,
gonna.
welcome
They're not
to
gonna.
my world, Sora. Is
There
that
you
what
go.
you're
Yep.
saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Man,
welcome to us
City
here.
of Chicago has a nice cannabis information page.
Yeah. You know
Cannabis
company the
Information
company I
Center.
work for. They actually have other places out in Arizona and New Jersey. So I'm actually trying to haul ass and be like, hey, you think I can transfer to Arizona? That'd be good.
It would be different.
Oh shit! Wait, no, that's a border state. Never mind.
I have an idea.
yeah.
So are you now?
Okay, here's an idea. What you do is you pretend
There's no escape.
pretend you're Mexican, and see if you can get on one of the free buses she's setting up to get migrants.
Yes.
out
Oh
of Chicago.
no!
There you go.
Apparently okay. So Mayor
Guatemala.
Lightfoot was pretty upset that the buses came to Chicago.
Yeah.
And so what she did was she sent them out to suburbs around Chicago. One of them called Burr
no.
Ridge. The mayor of Burr Ridge was pretty pissed because he was like, hey, we had no idea they were coming here. We had to go and set them up in hotels and shit. What's going on? and it's like, what do you think the border towns are doing?
You know, it's amazing to me that
Yeah.
New York City can get 60 immigrants, come in on a bus, or 40 immigrants, however many come in on those buses, and whine about a couple of busloads of people coming into New York City.
Oh man, I can make a joke about how many you can fit in a bus.
Well, yeah, I know, but all kidding aside,
The coyotes
border
are
towns-
stuffing them.
the border towns in Texas are taking in tens of thousands of people. These are little towns. The big towns like Uvalde, have 10,000 people in them,
Yeah.
and they're just getting tremendous numbers of people. It's really changing that part of Texas right now.
Well, it's beggaring
a
it.
huge problem.
It's, also Ms. Lightfoot decided to send those people out to Republican districts
Yeah.
in Illinois.
And please don't
To
say
get-
her name
to
again
get-
because we don't want to summon her.
Oh, this is true. Beetlejuice. The that's how she was going to own Greg Abbott, was to fuck somebody inside her own state. Like, Springfield isn't going to have to pay for this.
Nope.
Yeah.
And what they ought to do in Springfield is commensurately reduce Chicago's mayoral staff budget every time she does something fuckwitted like this. But of course they won't, because the Blues rule there too.
Oh, that's not the way state government works in Illinois anyway.
I
The
know.
real governor of the state is the mayor of Chicago.
Oh yeah, I noticed.
So, the named governor of Illinois typically is a Republican, and he always goes to jail after his term is over. It's true of the last 4 Republican governors in Illinois. I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not just going to give this Senate seat away.
No, it's worth something.
Yeah. Quid pro quo.
Good old Illinois.
Man, if you look at, what is it, JB Pritzker?
Oh, God.
Does he looks like he should be in a remake of the Dukes of Hazzard. He's just like, he would look
Boss
great in a
hog,
white.
yep.
Yeah, he'd look at be a great boss hog.
Yep. This fucking guy. He apparently he's offering people $50. Yeah, nice job.
Yeah, he's actually a Democrat, isn't he? Though, isn't Pritzker a Democrat?
Yep.
Usually they're Republicans. Maybe he won't go to jail.
Oh.
Maybe.
He has so much money he can buy his way out there. Usually there are guys like Blagojevich. This guy is a billionaire, isn't he? I mean, don't they own the Hyatt hotels or something? Is it Hyatt that they own, or the Marriotts or something?
Let's see, the Pritzker family.
They don't have cement money.
Yeah, they.
Yeah.
I think
Founding
they're a
in
diversified
Hyatt.
investment group. Is it Hyatt that they own?
It's Hyatt.
I knew it was one of the big hotel chains.
He really does look like if Ron DeSantis were like a Guido.
Hmm.
And
I know. I just looked at his
and
picture.
about
oh my god,
and about 100 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
I know what you were talking about, but for some reason, my brain just flashed the image of Guido from Star Wars.
Oh, Grebo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to Han Solo, and it's like, oh shit, what if he was him? Would he fire first? He probably would.
No. Solo fired first,
Whoa, well,
sir.
that's
True.
that's not
Yes.
established canon anymore. You see,
I'm sorry.
we have actual footage where
what came first is canon.
yeah, Guido's canon.
I swear to God, there are more people in the Star Wars universe arguing about canon than there are in Vatican City.
Whoa. They're asking for their gold back right now, so
Vatican City is?
Yep.
Why don't they just peel it off the ceilings?
because they need it for their decadence. They can't. The Pope can't hold court in front of his people unless the snake imagery is prominent.
Feels comforted by the snake, does he?
Ha!
Reminds him of home.
I'm sorry, did I go to Adam Jones?
No, I'm looking at the damn picture on the screen. What the fuck, Taco Bell?
You used to be able to advertise like that.
Taco
Yeah.
Bell.
Quality Mexican food.
That's right.
Oh, is that why it's the mustache?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the
I
mustache.
thought they were making. Okay.
Yeah. Very authentic.
Johnny Hellcat,
Very-
it's me, first job Mario.
Yeah, I was gonna
First stop, Mario.
Well, hold on. He has blonde
Oh, he's pretty
hair.
skinny. That's more of a
Exactly.
Luigi.
Yeah, I
that's
was gonna
Luigi.
say. It's me, I'm a Luigi.
Oh shit! It's Johnny Hellcat. Boom, 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 boom.
So,
Yo, I wish they would bring back the Mexican pizzas. Those were pretty good.
They have brought back Mexican pizza, I think, in some of the markets. They got rid of their tostada, which was stupid. Because the tostada was possibly one of the things they did close to correctly.
Yeah.
But see,
yeah.
Taco Bell is a food group unto itself. It is not Mexican food.
Well, they only
Nobody
have 5
pretends
ingredients.
it's Mexican food. It is
Monkey
Taco Bell.
They have
Monkey,
5
Hold on,
ingredients, but if
hold on.
you fry one of the ingredients,
Monkey-
then it makes it 6.
Monkey pretends. Monkey pretends that ranch is a dressing too.
Well,
For him, it's condiment, but it's
come on, ranch is all right.
ranch is a
ranch-
soup.
ranch is disgusting.
I will say Taco Bell falls in the category of Americanized food. So like Pizza
Yes.
Hut is it's it's
Well,
pizza,
Pizza Hut-
Italian, blah blah blah, but it's American.
Pizza Hut
fucking
is
pizza.
to pizza a little bit closer than Taco Bell is to.
I'm just giving an example.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
No, but I know it's. I know.
Yes,
it's-
Taco Bell is probably like the wafers and cardboard of the American Mexican food, as opposed to like Chipotle or something. The
Yeah,
fortunate
Chipotle
thing.
does the E. coli.
Well, hey, that was just a small stint. The burritos are pretty good. No,
I've eaten
the,
at Chipotle 3 times in my life, and we got horribly sick twice,
Yes,
and the food sucked.
and they've had all kind. It wasn't just a one-off
Yes,
thing.
true
with the E.
Chipotle.
coli. It was fuck them.
Whoa! Look at
Their
the
own-
hate.
Weren't
the
they owned by
haters.
McDonald's?
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yes.
they were bought out by McDonald's.
They were
I
paid
want
by
that jacket.
McDonald's.
They
My-
suck.
my issue with them is you get the people. It's just like Subway, where you get the people who just they're not interested at all in making a decent food, and so they just
We have an awesome Subway nearby here. It is absolutely amazing. I mean,
Chipotle. Yeah.
Chipotle.
Good God, Harry.
Oh
God.
my
What is-
god!
I would wear that. That's adorable. I love it.
Oh,
Is he
I
holding
just-
a cookie in his left hand? What is he?
No, that's a slide rule.
A what?
Oh my god, that's
That's
one
that
hot
is-
man.
No, it's a tostada.
Woo!
I was gonna say it looks like a toast.
Is he single?
Yes, trust me. In fact, he's never had a date.
This guy wants to introduce you to his grandson, Sora.
Right now, yes, he is single.
The best of the
The,
best.
His second
way
wife died.
the way that man in the background is cocking that hip makes me think that's not his grandson.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I got one. Okay, I've got you a date, Sora.
Okay.
How about this guy?
oh,
100%.
hello.
We can share clothes.
Yeah.
He's wearing pants, right?
He looks
He pierced it. Actually,
He has
Pants, right?
a vest.
from right
It's an
below the
attached
boobs.
belt.
From right below the boobs, he looks exactly like Stephanie Power in
Is he wearing a choker?
some episode of Columbo. I mean,
the
power.
Hey,
What-
Harry,
what?
can I ask why you have all these images?
Beautiful.
The storage
What is
cheap.
that?
oh my
don't-
god!
Look at that poncho,
Like,
though.
some of
Or
these,
is that
like,
just a
I don't know.
blanket that he cut a
Beach
hole in the
volleyball.
middle? Yeah. Yes, That guy's like,
Is,
you know
is
what?
this
I'm
fashion for aggressive gay men or something?
I didn't know they made Banlon serapes. You know, I just.
Well, the thing is, there's all the stuff involving knitting is all weird and cringy, like this.
Ah!
What the hell?
Why?
Balaclava.
Because it's
from
cold.
hell.
I don't know.
What the well-dressed serial killer will be wearing this season?
Why does one of them look like an ice cream cone that you'd buy off an ice cream truck?
I know. That's
Oh,
tragic.
wow.
Oh, that's
The Heat remake
It's
is
just
really
like
calm
They
down.
cheaped out the gumball.
It's like a
fell off.
Cargill ice cream cake that didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are like the cask of
Rapey the clown
Amontillado
goes with
mask
Fudgy the whale.
you put over
Yeah.
their head as you sealed them
Oh,
up behind
no.
the wall.
Look at my cookie puss on the top left or the top right.
Oh yeah, Cookie Puss. I forgot about Cookie Puss.
He's all happy.
Yeah.
Come here, little boy.
I'm not dangerous.
Look, I'm a rooster.
Hold on. This is the cover of the Beatles' White Album, right?
Johnny,
Yeah.
no,
With,
Johnny, don't blame
with-
this on us. This is not us.
Oh
Oh
my god.
my god.
Whoa.
These are the guys.
Now
who
that's your
beat up
aggressive,
after
aggressively
school.
gay man there, Skep.
How,
Whoa,
yeah,
boy.
how did
That
they
is
get?
the
How did they get Ben
1970s.
Shapiro into a gay man pose like that?
God almighty. That is
Yeah.
just tragic.
That's
Hey,
disturbing.
you know, I
Okay,
was
I have
working
something
on a
more
laptop
tragic.
that had
We
a
lived
screen
through
that
it
was
though,
like that huge
Skep.
shit.
We
Okay,
lived
okay.
through
This is
Why
the
are
saddest,
they
most
nice?
pathetic advertisement I've ever
My
seen.
grasses.
Oh my god.
Oh no, no! This isn't good. This
No,
is
no, no, no,
bad.
no. This is everybody's beautiful. If women can do this, so can men. There you go. Equality.
No,
Ahead of
okay,
its
yeah,
time.
I'm all for that,
The
but
commas the commas on that page indicate to me that was a European
Yes, it was.
I draw the line at
Eastern
Long John's.
European ad.
Yes.
Because it
Mhm.
looked like it was
Very
shot in a
Soviet.
prison.
ad. Yeah, by prisoners, by and for prisoners.
Okay, this guy's hot, so it doesn't work. Because I like the outfit. Cute.
Okay.
I don't think he plays for your team.
I don't.
Oh my
In fact,
lord.
I don't think any of these gentlemen
How
play
about
for
those
your team.
young?
It's
young
Mighty
men?
Mouse. Isn't that
It's-
Mighty Mouse?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Here I come to save the day.
This is village people before they grew up.
No,
Yeah.
this is
That is
Welcome Back,
impressive.
Kotter. Some 70s TV show bullshit.
hmm
The village people, the
That
unwanted
is
children.
impressive.
Village people.
I
of the
wonder
day.
what
I
the
am impressed.
photographer asked them. You know, like how they usually yell out how they want to be, gaze at him longingly, stroke him gently.
Whoa.
Okay.
I
Okay,
remember
wait a minute.
those.
That'll get you a call to
Wait a
HR.
Look at
I
that shit.
remember
They,
that.
they
Lord.
tried to fit him in the picture frame. He was too tall. They
Make
tilt
that
the
go
camera and
away.
they're like, hey, tilt your head a little bit to the left. We can't fit you in.
Yeah. So I
Is that
actually
where she's
had
supposed to
a.
go?
I actually
Oh.
knew a guy who dressed like this every day.
That looks like Barry
like the Bee
Gibb.
Gees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
looks
no,
like-
he
look
wore
like
like
Barry
the
Gibb.
one-piece leisure suit.
A lot like Barry Gibb.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wishes he looked like Barry Gibb.
How do
Anyway,
you
what
mend a
were we talking
broken
about?
heart? I don't know.
Okay.
The
So
Beatles' White
actually,
Album, something.
This actually inspired a thought in me, a serious one. So I was listening to Tom Holland, who I pimped his book last week.
Not
But he
Spider-Man.
was no, not the historian, not Spider-Man. And he was making he does a podcast called The Rest is History with another guy called Dominic Sandbrook. Both British, both friends. It's good fun. But they did a podcast on the 1960s, and Holland was making the case that the 1960s were as much of a transformative decade as the 1520s were, in terms of with the Reformation, that sort of stuff. And so I wanted to kind of put it up with you guys that kind of lived through that era. Those of you that did, if you
I was
kind of
a
agree
kid
with
in
that
the
assessment,
1520s.
or is it way off base?
Well,
I think you're
super.
comparing apples and asteroids. That's part of the problem with jumping time frames like that. I think.
Well, he's
I get-
talking about in terms of transformation,
I get
as
it.
far as like rapid change.
Oh, I get his
But-
point. I get his point. Yeah, I mean, from a technological standpoint, the '60s was just remarkable. You know, as far as speed of light.
You could even make that argument between the 80s and now.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
we've
I think
improved a lot on technologies that were developed in the 50s and 60s.
Well, I would say it's not only the technologies, but it's the exchange of information that goes along with it.
Yeah.
You can have the technologies, but if people don't understand
Yeah.
the goings ons of what's goings ons, that kind of holds them back.
Yeah, and you're right. The exchange of information is extraordinary now.
And that's what kind of propelled a lot of what happened in the past. Not only was it a technological boom, but it was also
the printing press. The printing press reshaped society.
Well, I have to ask you a question before I can answer your question. So you were saying the Reformation in 1520? Is that what you're mentioning?
Well, he was making the case that like future historians, hundreds of years from now, would look back at the 1960s as being such like a transformative era, in the same way that people like around the year 1600 look back at the 1520s as a massive period of change.
Okay. Well, so people, when we look back at history, it's easy to overthink how many people were affected by things. So, for instance, we talk about the Inquisition. The Inquisition only affected a fairly small percentage of people. And it was limited to fairly small parts of the world, right? So the average person didn't really get affected by the Inquisition. So the change that took place in the 1520s may have been seismic, but in terms of affecting people as a percentage of the population or raw numbers, I don't know, this is a question for you, how many people felt things during that one decade by itself. How much effect did it actually have on people versus the 60s, which reshaped, it basically rototilled society.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. Real quick. I want to add to what Harry said. Another example would be the light bulb. When that started going around, when that was first introduced, especially around the World's Fair, it wasn't something that the most wider spread use of it would have been in bigger cities and in certain areas where you'd see streetlights replaced from candles to electricity. You wouldn't really see it in rural areas, so that technological boost wasn't really seen. Oh shit, I forgot I forgot what the other thing was. But yes, Harry.
That thing. You know the thing.
Yeah. But his question that he was going to ask you. What was that question again?
What was the 15?
No, Harry was going to ask Harry.
Well, no, the question is the in terms of the 1520s, who is looking back at that? Is it a small number of people who were informed, or were most people largely unaffected by it? Because a lot of these big seismic changes in religion, really, it took quite a while for people to really, for them to impact people. Versus the 60s, it would be hard not to be impacted by the change in the 60s.
Exactly. How many people back in Prussia, back in the day, in the 1520s, knew that the Pope had sent an edict out called I think it was called the Edict of Worms, and that was about 1520.
Hold on. I kind of know the answer to what Harry was asking
Okay.
about the 60s. Music. It was music. It started in the around the late 40s and the 50s, and around the 60s it exploded, and that's where you get the start of the whole entertainment industry type stuff. But that's where the control mechanism started veering towards, in terms of that. Wait, I don't know if that was what you were asking. Never mind.
Well,
I'm sorry.
before the Industrial Revolution, something like there wasn't enough money or time for leisure. So it would be
Mhm.
pretty rare that most people would hear music outside of the church.
Right.
You know, possibly, sorry, I'm not an expert on these things, but there's in England, like the Harvest Festival, where you're making little dolls out of wheat and everybody's getting excited because winter's about to come in. There would be music there, right? So you'd have music pretty much on special holidays and at church, and that would be that. In the 60s, you could consume music anytime you damn well wanted to.
Well,
Because you had record players.
here's the difference, though. Back in your example, the 40s, that music would have been something that was composed by someone and then performed by somebody else. So you may get a performance. You may go to see a performance in a hall or something of a song, or a set of songs, but it's done by somebody completely random. Even when they started the advent of records, you could get a record of a song played by somebody completely different from whoever composed it. Whereas in the 60s going on, it was, you started getting, this is the band that made this song, this is what they're saying. And 50s, I would say, late 40s, 50s, you'd start seeing it, maybe even the 30s. But even in the 30s, you'd get, certain clubs playing songs from other people, just because it was you're playing the song.
Well, they would have something like the American Songbook. So they would go to catalogs of classics that people knew.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I think that as things moved on, original music that was performed by the songwriter probably became a lot more common. There weren't that many George Gershwins out there playing their own music.
No.
They would go to the catalogs, like standards. And it wasn't just in jazz that you would have standards.
Yeah, no, and it wouldn't be like like nowadays. You think about it, if wouldn't Beethoven pass, all of a sudden nobody's going to be able to hear his music anymore. It's like, well, no, he wrote it for other people to play, and other people play it.
Yeah. The blindness didn't help.
Yeah. Well,
the deafness.
The deafness, excuse me. Yeah, the other thing. Yeah.
Well, he didn't hear what he was signing, so.
Well, Van Gogh didn't get stereo, so yeah. But no, I think you're absolutely right. As the means of production became cheaper, it became more and more accessible, and it's culminated in the fact that people can now go on the internet and they can produce something that looks like an album for almost $0.
Yep.
You don't need fancy studio time. You can do the mixing yourself.
True.
You can do all that stuff
too. By the way.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about giving the bulk of the price of the CD to the distributor.
Well, that's why I was actually thinking about this earlier. It just, the pendulum has swung past where whereas before a measurement of what would have been the top song would have been taken from people calling in radio stations and requesting a song, whereas now any Joe Schmo can put out a song on a TikTok and and it'll blow up on the internet, and he's a star overnight. It doesn't take anything.
Well, a lot of the programming on the radio was kind of set. It was pretty hard to get radio stations to to play stuff.
Some of it.
Not if you had some payola.
No, not if you had. No, I mean, but as an individual, I know because when I was a little kid, and I got my wisdom teeth pulled. I actually called a classical radio station and begged them to play Also Sprach Zarathustra. And they said, well, we've already got everything already lined up. I said, I'm really miserable. Could I just hear Also Sprach Zarathustra? I'd appreciate it if you could play it. And so they actually changed the schedule. Part. They changed the schedule for me. I was very happy.
Well, obviously.
Did they play the whole thing? Did they play the whole piece, Eric?
That's the first part. Not just like the first minute of it, but I mean, they,
Well, obviously they had to go to commercial break, so.
Well, they had to replace whatever they were putting on before. And they even came on the radio and said that there was a kid that called up and he wasn't feeling well and he asked us to play this. And then they broke in and did that. It's cool.
How many kids who don't feel well ask for Also Sprach Zarathustra?
I was in a mood.
I was going to say.
For those of you not fluent in Austrian dialect of German, what we're talking about is the 2001: A Space Odyssey song.
Yeah.
Das Spec Zarathustra.
Yeah.
It's Richard Strauss.
Yeah.
Or Richard Strauss.
Dick Strauss.
Dick Strauss.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a dick.
If he was alive today, he'd be wearing one of those suits like on the screen there.
Yeah.
No, but I think Adam's right. But I think the reason is because the barriers to entry got smaller. So as the amount of money it took to basically write a song and produce it yourself got smaller and smaller, the amount of money you had to make off of it to make it worthwhile got lower and lower. And as distribution got wider and wider, you only needed a small fraction of people. It didn't matter if 0.001% of people liked your song. All you had to do was sell enough albums to cover your cost. And your cost is almost nothing now. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff that changed in music in the 50s and 60s. And television changed a lot of stuff too.
Yep. Well, that's why... I mean, I guess with television, it was more of a change between, not so much a change between, but more of a balance between actual theater stage productions and television, because theater's still around. So you got to give them credit. People still want to see some live performances, but I guess nothing beats Seinfeld and Friends and
early TV, into the early 60s, you had Playhouse 90. You
and
had
Sullivan too.
Dick Powell's Theater. You had
Playhouse 90, man.
You had some amazing productions.
You had Boz Hogg.
When did American Bandstand start up?
Gosh.
Because that was on like forever, which then segued into, there's all this other stuff that came on. Was it Austin City Limits? And so it widened out, and then you'd have shows like Solid Gold.
Mm-hmm. And Soul Train and a lot of.
Do you know that the first episode of American Bandstand premiered when I was 2 days old?
Yeah, I knew it was pretty old.
October 7th, 1952.
I think I saw that episode of Quantum Leap.
I saw that episode too, if I remember correctly.
What do you mean?
Did it in
you
honor
saw it?
of
It's
you.
brand new.
I was a precocious child.
Did I ever tell you about how I got my sister uninvited from one of her friends' houses because of Solid Gold?
No.
Okay, so I used to make smart-ass comments. I know. And when Solid Gold would come on, there'd be all these people in spandex gyrating. And I used to refer to it as the heathen fertility rituals. So my little sister, who was a few years younger than me, was over at a friend's house, and Solid Gold came on the TV. And my sister repeated what I would say about it in front of those people.
No.
And a very concerned phone call came into the house wondering what kind of bad influence was teaching my sister such terrible, terrible things. And she was asked not to come over ever again.
Kids! What's the matter with kids
That's so
today?
mean.
Yeah, Yeah, I know.
That is a rotten thing to do.
I
to a
didn't do
little-
it on purpose.
Well, you did know. I meant it was a rotten thing that the parents of the other girl
Yeah.
did.
They should just say, well, her brother's an asshole.
Yes.
He just thinks he's funny.
Well,
Or just she has an older brother.
yeah.
I mean, just say those words. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, I mean, I learned the F word at age 5 from a kindergarten classmate's older brother. I wasn't prohibited from, I mean, she taught it to me because her brother taught it to her and told her it meant damn. So I thought in my sophistication, I would wow my parents. So,
I'm sure they were
That's not what
impressed.
happened.
well,
I'm sure you wowed them.
I hit my little shuttlecock into the net, stamped my little foot in the dirt, and said, fuck! Whereupon, I next remember being on the screen porch crying because I apparently had been banned from playing. This is Florida. People lived outside. I'm sure the whole neighborhood heard this little cherub voice ring out, fuck! You know, just charming. Of course, my parents acted as if butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. Surprise. I heard damn in hell from them all the time. So, I mean, because I heard a lot worse. You know, it's a little bit like A Christmas Story where Ralphie gets in trouble for saying something his father says every day.
Yep. He got the soap.
Yes.
Yeah, but he didn't hear it from his father. He heard it from
Schwartz.
Schwartz.
I know. That wasn't that awesome. That was just, well, that was kid karma. Just, you know, paybacks are hell. Watch out where they're coming from. I do too, but it was just absolutely amazing hypocrisy on his mother's part. You know, I still think one of the best lines Gene Shepard narrates in that entire movie is, "My father wove a tapestry of profanity that hangs over Lake Michigan to this day." It's just such an image. It's just a remarkable image. Well, I thought the lawnmower's name was "goddamn son of a bitch and bastard."
I mean,
That's basically what I would hear my father refer to it as. And it's just, you know, what a surprise. Could read his lips in the backyard.
Huh.
That's creepy.
what is that?
Radium makes things grow.
Radium
I bet
fertilizer.
it does.
Yeah.
Shh. Sorry, I have children in the background who should be in bed.
It's all right.
Auto strap for front seat tots. It's just a piece of fabric.
Uh-huh. You should have seen my car seat, Sora. I think it would have made a remarkable catapult. It looked like, you've seen those car hop trays that were hung over
Yes.
car doors? Well, that's what it did. It hung over the bench front seat.
Oh.
It's like a
You're
seat
just like
pampers.
hanging around there.
So there I sat with my little beep beep horn in front of me in a metal
Oh my god, that's so cute.
That's also where I said beep beep SOB after being sound asleep. My dad hit the horn at somebody and Mom said my head popped up and I went beep beep SOB. Yet I had to go stand on the porch when I said fuck.
Well, they had to, you know,
Harsh toilet tissue.
it's
Oh,
a certain image they had to convey to the neighbors. If they didn't do that to you, the neighbors might
Yes.
think they're the ones who are swearing, you know?
they might have. You know, Mary's fidgeting because she knows that her part is crooked.
Not
But she
really.
can't help it because Mom gets the morning shakes.
Look, she was purposely trying to put the focus on that eye because the other eye kind of wanders a little bit. And if if she's talking to you straight on,
Hey,
Oh.
Atarax.
Uh-oh.
Hydroxyzine, baby. All right.
I'm
does.
fun
Is it-
too.
Is the syrup made out of babies?
Yes.
Yeah, this
Nice.
is for your nervous and mobile infant.
It's
Jesus
baby
Christ.
syrup, and it's made from real babies.
Yes. And now
Baby
the baby is
stir-fry?
calm and they will stack blocks.
Yeah, but is it soup or is it cereal?
Atarax is actually an amazing chemical. Atarax is just one of the salts that, and it's a antihistamine. It's 500 times as antihistaminic as Benadryl. They give a form of Atarax. It's actually called hydroxyzine is the chemical name, and it's a different salt of it, but it's very similar. Called Vistaril to drunks when they come in. They're OD'd on alcohol. There's no Narcan for alcohol. But what you can give them is a big slug of this stuff, and you give it to them in a bolus in the muscle tissue. It's an intramuscular injection. And it just calms them down if they're going into the DTs or having an alcoholic crisis or starting to gork from liver failure. It's an amazing calming agent. And the
Is that
shabby
the one that
thing,
makes people's
the
noses itch?
no, this will make your nose stop itching.
Okay.
So this will make you not care to have whether or not you have a nose. You just want to go to sleep. It's a big calming thing. But anyway, yeah, Atarax and Vistaril it's one of the most interesting chemicals I've ever studied. It does so many things, but it's never been researched properly because Pfizer couldn't make enough money off of it. When I was there, our salesman
Come on now,
less than 10% of their quota was less than 10% of their quota.
Obviously,
came from that drug.
Obviously, the gracious pharmaceutical companies did its extensive studies with top men, and they came to the conclusion that it's just not good for us. That's why you got to take.
That's exactly what they did.
That's why
you're kidding, but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
I'm just saying, just so that we don't get our YouTube channel kicked off.
Well, they went in and said we can't make enough money doing that, so we're not going to publicize that, and we won't even compete in that space. I mean,
also, I don't want the
for
FBI
years
to come around
people have been getting a drug called Phenergan pre-op when there is a better agent out there, but they won't sell Vistaril as a pre-op anymore. It used to kick Phenergan's ass in the pre-operation, pre-surgery stuff, and it hardly gets written at all anymore. It's a complete Phenergan market. But that's an example of it's actually an example, some economists would say, of a market failure. And I think there's probably a case to be made for that. It's mostly has to do with, the entry barriers into the pharmaceutical business are just hideous.
Thank you, trial lawyers.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
No,
But
it had a lot to do with it. That, and we've got this notion that people are supposed to be able to see the future from the past
and be perfect.
Whoa, you know,
I lay that at the feet of the lawyers too.
Yeah,
guys have been dealing with this for a while. Apparently we're supposed to mind read and all this. Oof.
Well, like whoever created asbestos was supposed to know that asbestos airborne could lead to mesothelioma.
Mesothelioma. Yeah.
Mesothelioma. And the yet how many countless lives may asbestos have saved? Nobody ever wants to discuss what asbestos siding, roofing, things like that did to protect.
You realize that asbestos is a mineral. It's not manufactured.
It's natural.
People think it's manufactured, but it's got long, spindly, little wiry
Mhm.
crystals, and that's what makes it so. And they're very brittle, and that's what
Yeah.
makes it so dangerous.
I just like when Popeye uses it in I think Alibaba and in the Sinbad and the 40 Tales, and he's fighting a dragon and he needs something to protect him against the fire, and he pulls up a sheet of asbestos.
Mhm.
And he does as best as he can.
Yep. He hasn't had his spinach yet,
quality.
Ah,
do you know who Popeye is, Sora? I don't know if I don't know if they
No.
had him in Canadistan.
yes.
Oh.
Hardy's fiber light. Oh dear.
So I had to do one, at least one.
Is there spinach in Canada?
No, I don't think they have spinach in Canada.
We've got kale.
Yeah.
What the hell
I've
is
never
that?
seen Popeye eat kale.
Nobody eats kale. You know who eats
This
kale?
is uncool. I eat kale.
Kale chips. Yes, he had kale chips all the time, and he would have it. Right.
I was gonna say fish and turtles. I think they eat kale.
They're the cool people.
kelp.
They are.
They eat
Turtles
kelp.
are pretty cool. I like
Kelp.
Yeah, kale is not kelp. You do realize that.
That. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
They're not cool.
Yeah.
I actually like kale, but I like spinach too.
Hey, I love spinach.
So do I. I mean, I grew up eating it
And-
out of a can, which would scare most people to death now. But I mean, I liked it then, and I like it better now that I don't have to eat the slimy canned stuff.
There's another plant. I always forget what it's called. That's delicious. Sorrel.
Mm.
That's
Sorrel?
delicious. If you ever have a chance to have it, it's sour and lemony tasting.
Yeah, it's buckwheat, right?
Sorrel?
Yeah, it's buckwheat. It's
It's like a
I-
type
it-
of
I have
spinach, I think.
no,
I don't know if
I
it's
have
related
an
to buckwheat.
association with buckwheat. I have an association with buckwheat with sorrel. It is, isn't it?
Maybe there's like
It's like
there's a plant called sorrel buckwheat, but it's not the
Doc, we're talking about Doc
I think it's Ote.
sorrel, that's also known as Doc Skep,
I was thinking about
the herbaceous
I was
plant.
thinking about the little leaves that they put in the radicchio and the watercress salad.
Well, sorrel, yeah, that's Doc. It's called spinach Doc or narrowleaf Doc.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Hang on, let me look it up.
and it spreads like crazy.
Sorrel, also called common sorrel or garden sorrel, is a perennial herbaceous plant in the family Polygonaceae. Other names for sorrel include spinach dock,
Yes.
narrow leaf dock. It is native to Eurasia and is a common plant in grassland habitats. It is any of several hardy perennial herbs of the buckwheat family, which is the Polygonaceae or whatever that thing is.
Oh, I did not know that.
Nah, I
So there you
prefer
go.
alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
Now
Plant
when
child.
Beta O'Rourke says he eats sorrel, that's just a drawl. He's eating soil. He's talking about eating soil. It's just a Texas pronunciation. He much prefers soil to sorrel.
One of the things about sorrel, though, is if you plant it, boy,
Yeah, but I don't think it was so
it'll
much.
spread.
I don't think it was so much that. I think it was the magic part. Why is it magic? What makes it magic?
Oh, the dirt.
Yeah.
It was transformed in him. He's transformative.
He's a transformer.
Yeah, that's it.
Transformers. Beetle in the sky.
But you can also eat sorrel in France because it's legal to eat horses there. So you can eat a sorrel horse over there.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Harry,
Yeah.
lower left. Very nice.
Oh wow! Now I've got to see this.
Oh,
More
caftan.
caftans. Yeah.
Caftan, my caftan.
Lower left. That's all I'm saying.
Do we got to stand
Yeah.
at our desk?
Kind of
now?
got the lower left kind of had that Janet.
Oh, yeah.
Look to her.
Oh, Captain, my Canton.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot about this one.
Oh my!
What is that?
Oh.
My mother says I'm handsome.
Well, they paid me a lot of money to wear this. Yeah.
What the?
That was the first and only time this man ever wore this. I promise you.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
He never wore that again.
It's a macrame vest.
You know,
It
They had to-
double, no,
they had to
it
get him to
doubles as a
stop
pot
laughing.
holder.
Had to get him to stop laughing long enough to take the picture.
Action pen.
The actions up.
That was extra large snack sack.
I love that so much.
Look at the dog.
Snack.
The dog
Dog?
looking up at the actions up.
The dog wants his snack sack.
Is that a snack sack in your pocket,
I need a
or
beer.
are you happy to see
I'm
me
heading
like
for the
that?
action zone.
Oh my god, that is just tragic.
Yeah, that is. You know, do you see that?
Wow.
That double
Oh, look at
punched
them action
white?
zones.
Do you see the?
I would wear that just to see my wife cringe.
Do you see the double punched white belt?
Mhm.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I had a belt like that.
Yes, I think we all did.
I
I
had
had-
a belt like that. I hate to say it.
Yes, this
I
was
had 2 nylon belts from the grunge store. One pink, one black.
well,
During the
sweetheart,
early 2000s.
the tragedy is I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, oh yes, I do remember that too well. E is for Espanol. Oh my god. It's south of the border.
Wow.
Debbie
Oh
does.
boy.
South of the border is the coolest place ever.
What's she gonna do with that burro?
Well, luckily they're not in Tijuana.
Don't ask. No, if they're actually at south of the border, they're in South Carolina.
Mm.
It's
Is it like a
just
restaurant?
across the border on 95 from North Carolina is a giant. Oh my God, it is everything. It's a rest area, gas station, food, fireworks, novelty shops.
Can you pick up a decent Nehru jacket there?
Mhm.
I had a Nehru jacket,
This is really disturbing, Harry.
and I had
Okay, fine, I'll fix
a
it.
necklace like the guy on the left.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
ruffles and flourishes.
Oh, gross.
Nothing says
And
These
heterosexuality.
clothes seem like they're an awful lot of work, guys. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Welcome
Yeah,
to our life, men.
They look like marionettes.
1972. God, that was just a weird time.
Yes, it
we're
was.
we're breaking out of the 60s. We didn't know what we were supposed to do, and disco was asserting itself.
Yeah, it really got a grip on us by 75, but yeah. Oh my God. I had a pair of palazzo pants that had a bell about that size.
Yeah, I bet you never had a shirt with a collar that size.
No, I never had I never quite
I'm not sure
close.
what this is for. In case you have like a problem with flop sweat, you just can
No,
Yeah.
no, those are
reach over and dab yourself off with the
just her.
when one of them
Oh.
gets
Yes.
when one of them
They're
gets too
handles.
moist, you can grab the other one.
Handles.
Yeah. Handles. She gets on
She's
top.
here.
She
Come
digs it.
here.
Look at her.
She's digging it.
She's thinking
Yeah.
about crossing those around as Adam's apple and pulling. You know damn well that's what she's thinking.
Why does it feel like he should have medals on each of those
Mhm.
dog ears? Like,
Well, while we're mind reading, Prospero, what do you think this woman's thinking?
Oh God! Wait. Oh God! Oh, kill me now. That is Jesus God.
That's got to be about 1975.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 75, and I'd say she's about 4 martinis in, and she's losing the ability to focus.
Yeah. For the fun part of the drinking is over for her.
Yes. And now it's
dry martinis.
Unpleasantness and headaches to look forward to.
now it's the oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I gotta take my makeup off.
This
Wow.
color scheme is
Yeah.
painful on the eyes.
I want that
Wow.
couch.
Okay.
Kind
fine.
of looked like my dorm room.
Oh
Wow.
God.
Why is it with all the awkward looks?
What is this? The Brokeback Mountain Junior High edition?
Where are you getting these images from, sir?
Oh my God!
Hey, Ether.
He's giving him the come hither look.
I know it. Come here often, big boy. With the foot wrapped behind the ankle.
How even is
Why?
that
I see you
pose?
too pay too much for your clothing.
Yeah.
Let's hang out.
How about some
Freaking-
high-waisted
Look at
bell
the
bottoms?
bartender's face, though. He's just
Oh,
like, get
those
that
are-
nonsense out of here.
Oh,
These are so cute. Oh my god. I
Yeah.
love these so much.
That was about the size collar, Harry, that as far as I went in the palazzo pants.
Oh, look at that scarf. just
I
wanna-
love the
The axe,
Whatever it is.
the axe
Magic
murderer
Pride
look. Yeah.
I want to weld these men into shipping containers and drop them into the sea.
The guy on the right looked like Scott, like a young Scott Bakula.
Mm.
What the hell's on his front?
the hell is
Target sign.
That's a
Target.
woman.
What's going on?
Let's be here.
What the hell's the matter with his trousers?
with his belt area? What is going on?
The action zone
Oh, he has a tent. Yeah. Look at that.
appears to be tinted
No, he came untucked, it looks like.
more than. But there's dangly bits.
Yeah.
Definitely came untucked.
Action.
Oh,
There's
My-
a girl
God.
eating his
Whoa.
knee.
Mhm. And he's.
This is some good news.
Oh my God!
I
He
was-
looks like Eric Swalwell.
Yeah.
Nah,
Now I
because
see it.
He's
You're
they
right.
don't look like Asian ladies.
He's. Oh, you're right there.
The thing is, while Prospero was busy moving, she hasn't seen a bunch of these.
No,
Mhm.
I'm.
You haven't seen this one.
oh god, the plastic.
Oh my God!
Look at
Is
those
there-
plastic couches.
Look at the
I-
curtains.
They look plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! Oh God! It's. Ugh.
Hold on.
And
And
so,
this is one of my favorite images ever.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
The baby bottle, the cigarette, and the martini. But she's got her pearls on.
She
Make,
looks-
just
she
make
looks like
sure you
the-
know who
And
gets
red
what.
lipstick on.
she looks
Yeah.
like the landlady
Cigarette
from
for the baby,
Kung,
martini
Kung
for
Fu
me.
Hustle.
Oh my stars!
Who gets the bottle?
Is she got two?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
One's for the photographer.
No, it's one's
No.
for me and one's for me.
This is from a collection that's called Women Having Fun. And this is the last image.
Oh, grandma.
I know.
Hold on. You said this is from a collection called Women Having Fun.
That's what it says. Women
And
having
that
fun.
is the last
That's
image.
the last one. She's had too much fun.
I just wanted that for the
Yeah,
record.
past
She used up
tense.
all the fun.
Okay.
There's no fun left for anything
Had
else.
fun. Not having had.
All the fun has been had.
Yeah.
I have been known to sleep in that position.
Nice.
Oh, this one confuses me.
What the
Oh.
fuck?
I don't know.
What the?
I don't know.
They're
That's
trying
scary.
to find the vibrate option.
Uh-huh. I think you're right.
You know, I would prefer this one past the other one.
Oh no!
What is that?
Father and son pullovers.
Is Daddy wearing short pants too?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you want to make absolutely certain your
Let me
son
sh-
has problems,
Yes.
do this.
Let me show you how the action zone works, son.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Oh
No.
yes.
Oh shit! It's the
Somebody's
Adventures of
going writing.
Batman.
Yeah.
And
He's
maybe Sora can
camouflaged.
help me with this. This has got to be from like an Eastern European children's show or something. This is terrifying.
It does look like it, doesn't it? Oh god, it's nightmare fuel.
So the one on the left has Jackson. I mean, on the right has Jackson embedded in his skull.
Yeah.
They're little like alien things.
It's actually two midgets,
Antenna.
and the one on the left, he's looking out the belly button, and he's standing on these shoulders, and the other one's looking at the mask on top.
God, that's just tragic.
Look at its little belly button.
There's so much wrong with
That's
this
so
picture.
cute.
The
And that's his
lips
little
on
wife?
the lips on the one on the left. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, no, is that the
Jay.
juice?
Oh, no.
That's the juice.
Oh no.
I'm gonna slice your ham real good.
Mm.
Oh boy. Out there looking for the real killer still.
Arenthal Jakes.
Yeah.
We're still live, so I won't use my grandpa's joke about Turkey and O.J. Simpson.
But when we're not live.
I'll take the salad.
That's a great picture.
I love
That
it.
is beautiful. I love it.
People used to go.
Is that real?
And, yeah, that is real. And people actually used to go along stretches of I think it was US 50 in Nevada and get their picture taken with a nuclear test in the background. That was a thing for a while.
Oh my god.
Sure was.
I mean,
Sure was.
kind of cool to have that, but also don't want cancer, so I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
that
okay.
blast-
She's
No,
probably
it's
a
okay.
thalidomide baby too.
All they did was they
Oh,
took
she
the
looks
picture
fine.
and then they ran the other way real quick.
that test is very far away, by the way.
Ah, okay.
They had some time.
Oh my
Now
god.
that is a badass.
It's the warlock.
Yeah. I'll bet it was too.
Yeah.
There were some
Yeah, it was.
serious STDs transferred in that.
And the lady's like, I painted it all myself.
Fluids were exchanged.
Yes.
That's
Oh,
Not getting your cleaning deposit back on that one.
No kidding.
God.
Swing machine.
The
Yeah.
swing
The new
machine.
Roadco swing machine.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's seriously bow, chicken bow, bow, chicken bow. Oh God.
When you don't have a shred of self-respect.
And I really, God. Sauce. Oh my God. Yes, yes. That is south of the border.
You're
That-
always a wiener at Pedro's.
Yeah, you never saw such a place. Oh God, it's just horrifying.
Huh.
Oh.
Oh boy. That's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate.
This was the promo shot from Midnight Cowboy. the knockoff version that was filmed in Bulgaria.
You know, we're 5
You
minutes
have to
over.
have seen that movie
Yeah,
in order to.
I know. I'm just having a good time. I'm just
So much
watching
for our
enjoying
1 hour
these.
show.
Yeah. So much for the 1 hour show. Sorry, guys. We had too good a time. We went over a little bit. I suppose we should wrap this up, though. It's
Yeah, sounds good.
going a bit long, and I have got to get some sleep. So, guys, we are going to call it here. Does anybody have anything they want to announce or say, or anything they want to get off their chest or confess to murder? It would help with the ratings.
I did it.
Nobody doubts that. Nobody doubts that. Oh, he's in chat. I didn't even say hi, Uzi.
Hey, Uzi.
And all right, well, with that, we will call it an evening here at Minions of the Zoo. But I want to thank everybody for coming out and listening to us. Thank you, chat, for coming and do this. We do this for you. Thank you to my brilliant and extremely large panel this evening. Thank you all for coming out and spend a little time with me. It's been great fun. But for tonight, the zoo is closed. Good night, everybody.
Good night.